Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And you will have to sign vouchers because Pat isn't here this week. We'll call this regular board meeting to order. Roll call shows that Kelly, Pat, and Peter are excused. We have the June 21st, 2018 regular board meeting minutes. Any corrections, questions? There are none, we'll need a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. June 21st, 2018 Committee of the Whole meeting minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Oh, that's committee of the whole, I'm sorry.
Committee.
I'm sorry.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. June 21st, 2018 closed session meeting minutes.
We need to amend those because Bob Sorensen was present and he's not on there.
Okay. We need to add Bob to it.
Yeah. I'll make a motion to approve with the addition of Attorney Robert Sorensen.
I'll second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. July 2nd, 2018 Planning and Zoning Commission minutes. We normally don't approve those here. There are no agenda changes. We'll open the public hearing on the conditional use permit CU-1-18, 106 North Oak Street, parcel 240048300, David Weaven, Hortonville School District, to allow for a health care clinic for the school employees.
David's not here.
Yeah, I know Dave's not here. No one here to speak on it. We will close the public hearing and move on. License and permits. That's yours, Jane.
Okay, Ashley Williamson, Mary Jo Lance, Candace Ziegler, Jesse Ziegler, and Sandra Listowka have all been approved by police. I think we need to do motions separately for these.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approved.
And then the temporary Class B retailers licenses, Hortonville Legion baseball team, 3 different events, and then the Hortonville Hortonia Fire District, the 1 event.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
And then the combination Class B, fermented malt beverage and liquor license for the Dark Room Lounge, doing business as a studio lounge.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. I assume we have no pre-registered citizens.
No.
So we have committee reports. Public Facilities Committee.
Kelly's not here, but we don't have anything.
I was going to say I didn't think we had anything. Public Safety, we're going to need to schedule one, but Peter's not here to do that, so we'll have to work on that another night. Public Works Committee.
I want to schedule one for July 19th prior to the next regular board meeting. I think we're going to review the proposals from the engineering pool for Grandview project, and I'd like to come out of that meeting with a recommendation for the village board to award the engineering services for Grandview.
What-
So I don't know if we need a half hour for that. I'm expecting 3 proposals. They should be apples to apples. I don't know how long we'll actually need. So let's plan for a half hour. Is that all right?
Sure. 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock.
Am I on that one? Public Works?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all
Library board?
I'm planning this one.
Planning and zoning.
Oh, Planning and Zoning Commission. And we went over the conditional use permit for the North Oak Street parcel, and that will be on
It's,
what didn't get put on for,
It will be put on the July 19th
yeah.
hearing.
Yeah, I thought we were going to have it on tonight for approval, but it'll be on the July 19th for approval.
Anyone have any questions from the meeting? No, I mean,
no,
I mean, I was there.
the commission didn't have any issues with it. Mr. Whitman explained it's for employees for the school district and families only. There were a couple that owned a neighboring parcel, they were here, and they just didn't know what it was about. But when they heard his explanation, they said they didn't have any objections.
You know, they thought with a health clinic, there'd be a parking lot put behind there, and they weren't in favor of that, but there's not going to be.
And it's only open to the employees that take out the school's health insurance, which is not even half. So, yeah, they had estimated it would maybe be 1,100 people total that would even have access to that clinic.
Yeah, that'll be your family, isn't it?
20 hours a week, they'd be
Yeah.
open.
So I think the only condition that was implied that it will be used for that exclusive purpose, that it's approved as a health clinic for the school employees.
Because it's in a residential, in our
Right.
residential zone.
And with, going with conditional, if they stop using it, go back to R1. Okay. No further questions on that. We'll go to the library board. Did we have a library board meeting, or is that next
It's
week?
next week.
No, we have nothing on that. Economic Development Committee will need to schedule one. I'm not sure. We'll have to see if we can get a hold of all of them, see when we can meet.
When would that,
No, they don't have regular meetings, so it's pretty much just, when we need them, call them up and see what day works for them.
but this time usually,
I would say it's 6:30. And there's no unfinished business.
Can we jump back real quick? That's something you want me to work on?
Jane usually calls them, or
okay.
one of the gals in the office.
Do we want that before the next board meeting, preferably?
wouldn't have to be,
It wouldn't have to be,
Okay.
but
the sooner the better,
the
probably.
sooner the better, I'd say.
Okay.
Bring that to, that particular thing to a resolution.
Yes.
New business, resolution R-10-18 to terminate tax increment district number 2. Now, from Ellers, our representative there said that, I believe it was after May 1st, that you could terminate if it would be completed by the end of the year, which it, with what we will receive this year, everything should be complete on there and all expenses have been covered, so we can terminate that now and be done with it. Be done with.
I think you still have next year to go. I mean, you'll take in the taxes next year. You can terminate now, but next year's taxes will finish paying it off, and then 2020, that revenue will go back into the general tax levy.
Right.
Or the,
Yes.
So are you looking for
We'll need a motion to
tonight?
approve.
Actually, what we're looking for is to adopt Resolution R-10-18, which is the first step of the process.
Okay.
And there's other steps that staff will have to follow up with the Department of Revenue to fully close it. And staff is recommending to close it now so that if we're looking at other tax increment districts, we need to close it now, which then frees up the valuation test on the next increment.
Unless anyone has any questions, I mean, I'll make a motion to approve R-10-18 to terminate tax incremental district number 2.
I'll second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. Yard waste site concerns, that's yours, Carl.
yeah, I'll take that. What we've been having issues with, again, is just the volume of brush being brought down to the yard dump site, down at the wastewater plant. It's not so much leaves and grass, that's fine, we can handle that all day long. It's just, we're getting brush brought in from Hortonia, Ellington, Dale. None of those communities have their own drop-off sites, and they all bring their brush here because they have a Hortonville address, they say. And one of my concerns is we've fallen behind on dealing with that debris. I looked at other sources for grinding it up, and I got one quote today that was almost $7,000. That's over my entire budget for the whole year for the compost site. Frankly, Public Works is between a rock and a hard place when it comes to dealing with all this illegal dumping from these other communities. And we're gonna have to make some choices, or some serious choices here pretty soon. Do we reach out to these other communities, ask if they can offset some of these costs? Do we look at closing it and manually, going around on Mondays and picking up our own yard waste? Do I hire somebody to work Saturday mornings down there? Even if we do close it, we're looking at expenses for fences, possibly cameras, extra police patrols. It's getting out of hand what's coming in from outside the community. I guess that's my thesis here. And I just wanted you all to be aware of it. There's no easy answers. Every answer is going to cost money, either ours or, like I said, it would be nice if the neighboring communities told their residents not to bring it over here, or if they offered some kind of.
I think maybe that could be the first step, to send a letter out to them to say that we would, if they want their residents to keep coming here, they should give us
Some kind of payment of time would be nice.
something to offset it.
Yeah, but there's, I
could reach out to them once I settle down a little bit, but
We're gonna-
maybe somebody else can.
talk about that at that Public Works meeting, or is it?
If we do, we'll have to make it a little longer than 30 minutes. Do we want to make it a little longer?
I think we do.
I think
I
so.
think we do.
There's,
Let's make it a 5:30
We
meeting.
can note what other communities do. I know Greenville
Yeah. Well,
charges the residents, they have to have a sticker on their windshield to go dump there. Maybe that's what we need to do.
They have more staff and they're able to man it during the day. The problem is, as soon as we turn our backs, we've got somebody from Ellington dumping a truckload of brush.
Yeah, but if you had a sticker in your window, you'd know that was a village resident.
Well, even then, they
Even if
still come
it's
down.
$2
We
somewhere for
have,
the sticker.
I know we have cops sitting down there, and every other car is from outside town. I mean,
Yeah.
cops can't sit down there 24/7.
Right. Yeah, it's too bad we don't have a
Can
lock
we-
gate
can we-
like a lot of other communities do.
can
we
we
can't really
extend
lock it up.
that meeting for the 19th? Can
The only way we can lock it up is with the fence. I would like to lock it after hours.
Even if we do something temporarily until we get a solution, but can we just make that meeting on the 19th a little bit longer?
Yeah, let's make it 5:30.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, I didn't expect any decisions tonight, I just wanted to get it out there that something needs to be discussed. That's all I have.
The village administrator position. This is
That's
under yours, Russ?
Yeah, I guess this is mine. I wanted to start the discussion, and if you're comfortable, look for some guidance. There's actually two documents. First off is a draft ad for the position, and the second item then would be what we typically use is called a recruitment profile. We would have limited numbers of that printed out, but we probably get it posted on the village website. There's a couple things I wanted to talk to the village board and hopefully get your buy-in. If we wanted to start with the ad first. First of all, on the ad, I want to apologize. I did catch, there's a couple of city references in the ad. If you didn't notice it, I apologize for that. Those obviously should be village. And I would imagine that the first, there's really two issues that I'd like to discuss is the application deadline and then the salary range. And I know that the salary range, talking to Diane, might be a point of discussion. Just so you know, from a background perspective, I did survey other communities that participate in the city manager salary survey. Each year, the city manager group has a survey, and I surveyed 18 communities with a population average of 2,643, so right around where Hortonville's at. The 2017 salaries on average for those 18 communities was $73,280. And I know that might be a little strong for some of you. The $70,000 to $85,000 range is a range that our firm did when we were doing Waiwiga in 2017, and I believe they have re-advertised with that same range for 2018 as well. The village of Clintonville just hired a new administrator, less than 1 year's service, and Clintonville is just a little bit bigger, about 4,000 folks at $75,000. There's currently an ad out for Abbotsford, which is near the Wausau area. They're at $70,000 to $75,000. And then the town of Rome is currently looking for an administrator that's also up in the central part of Wisconsin, I think Wood County, and they're actually advertising at $80,000 to $90,000. Now, it's up to the board to decide. I think you've had that discussion in the past about putting in ranges and not. Our professional opinion is that you get better candidates, and candidates will know what they're getting into if you put the range in the ad. Certainly if you wanted to go a little bit lower on the upper end, we could do that, but I think the starting salary based on what's happening in the market, that $70,000 is probably appropriate. And if you want, I can go through the other comparables that I have.
Well, the other thing is that whoever's there would be the head of all the department heads, and then we can't go a whole lot lower because, well, we just hired Chris for, what, 66? So, I mean, we can't go too much lower than 70s.
Yeah, and, the big question that I think for you as a board is, what you're comfortable with, but it's also, what kind of person do you want to attract? And, we can talk about the profile in just a minute, about some of the characteristics and some of the experiences and things that you're looking for. But, quite honestly, if you're looking for a good candidate, you got to kind of be in the market. And I think the comps, and again, I can go through those comps, but there's some in this part of the state, there's some other parts of the state, but it was hard to try to get to that average of about 2,700 folks in that area. So that's what I try to do. Obviously, there's some that are higher, some that are lower. But if anybody has any questions about market rates, I can certainly talk about that.
Thoughts from board members? Think we should leave it to the 70 to 85, or should we lower the 85?
I think we definitely need to lower the 85.
But I was kind of thinking that myself. I don't know if our budgets could
No,
take that.
not right now.
And that would be the total benefit package, like that
It's,
deal that we've offered.
that's your new recruitment thing, yes. And the ad also says depending on qualifications. So, you know, you certainly could narrow that range down a little bit. But it's pretty common and typical that most candidates will know that they'll be coming in at that lower end of the range.
What do you think, Jeannie? What do you,
For total package, yeah,
that would be the total benefit package with, that would
Yeah.
includes the insurance,
Right.
and that gave us sort of a cap for that. So if the health insurance premiums and that sort of thing went up, we had a little bit of protection there. So, I mean, even if we lowered that 85 down to 80, and that would include total benefit package, because that could include the insurance and,
I was thinking 77. Is that too low? I mean, what do you
what do you
think?
think of benefits? That's what I was
Well,
thinking.
figured total benefit package would be about 6,000 over what the salary would be.
And what was Diane at? Was roughly, what, 67, 68?
She was at 69.8, and I think that's salary only. I don't think
And then she had the
that's-
benefits on top of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
And
figure roughly another 6,000 over that.
roughly, and, you know, again, I'm coming in giving you recommendation in what you've done in the past, I'm not here to be critical of it, but if you're looking for my professional opinion, that was a little bit on the low side. And, right, wrong, or indifferent, I'm not trying to be critical, I'm just trying to state some of the facts on it. So, you know,
So do you think 80 is fair?
I wouldn't go any lower than 80. You know, especially if you're at, you know, when I was doing this, I didn't figure in that, the benefit, the total compensation concept, because I wasn't quite sure until today when I was going through some of the documents. So you know, I would not go any lower than 80 in my recommendation. Again, you need to know that community just down the road, Waiwega's out advertising that their application closes tomorrow, and they're advertising at 70 to 85,000. You know, Wayne County is at 72.5 salary alone. Ricetown, another community somewhat comparable, is at $80,000. There's some upper and lower, but when I look at the market, I think at the bare minimum, it should be 80. I still would stand by my recommendation, 85, but I certainly understand your concerns.
It has to look attractive.
I
And
mean,
we're beginning to retain.
Yeah. I don't see a problem with that range. I mean, that's not necessarily what you're going to give them necessarily. It depends on the person.
Well, I know one of the things Diane had commented to me on this price range, that probably get two kinds of applicants. The younger ones, that are more aggressive and go-getters, or those at the end of their career, where you might get somebody that just wants to coast through till retirement. The ones in the middle, you're probably not going to get, because they're the ones that are getting the jobs in the $100,000 range.
Yeah, I would concur with it. I think probably you're going to probably get most of your applicant pool on maybe the young up-and-comers that are looking to get into the profession. We also have, 3 to 5 years of experience, and that's total municipal experience. I think you'll probably get some applicants that aren't quite up to that 3 to 5 year range. I think you want somebody that's a little seasoned, not totally green, but there might be a good candidate out there that is, just coming off of some other type of service but has some municipal background.
And by leaving this on here, it's not locking us into it. We're still at that 70 to 85 it would attract, somebody might come in with high hopes that they're gonna be at that 85,000 range, but you're more at that 78,000 range, you know, I mean, it depends on how it goes in an interview and that person's experience and.
And your comfort level with it.
Mm-hmm,
Right.
yeah, I mean, we're not gonna come out of the chute, say 85,000,
Yeah, I agree with you. We can leave it.
yeah.
We're not locked into it.
This doesn't lock us
You
in
know,
anything.
It's gonna depend on a lot of things.
And that's why I think it's really important you keep that depending on qualifications.
Yeah. It's to attract the talent. That's an executive level position. It's not a position that you go into that field because you want to do that kind of job. I'm okay leaving it that way. It doesn't lock us into anything. It doesn't make.
How about the August 10th for
Yeah,
having it here?
the August 10th would be the application deadline, and that would be under kind of a more aggressive schedule to get interviews at the end of August. When I came to you last time, we talked about a schedule that maybe went into September. Usually you want to do 6 weeks. This is a little shy of 6 weeks, but it's, I think, doable. But if you, again, depending on when you want to do the interview process and set that up, we can talk about the process a little bit later, but I think it's important for us to get the word out and get the process started.
Well, if somebody's looking for a job, they've got their stuff ready to go. Hopefully.
And I think between now and August 10th, I would also do some social media outreach, and I would actually be contacting some of the people that I think might be in the market.
That's more than a month.
Yeah, just a little bit more, but I think it's enough time to get the word out. Stick with, we'll stick with August 10th?
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'll make those other, sorry again, but I'll make those other minor changes.
Do we need any kind of motion to accept this?
Well, let me finish going through the profile as well. Because the profile really has parts of the ad, and if I could just get a motion at the end, I think I'd be happy.
Okay.
Okay.
I think it would serve the village well. The other thing in the ad, and I wanted to talk about it that I missed, is the direction that the administrator receives. In your job description, it says village president. When I talked to Diane, it's more like village board, but it's not defined that way. And I just want to make sure that we send the right message to candidates. If they're receiving direction from the entire board, and some administrators do, that's fine. But I think we just want to make sure that we have that listed in the appropriate manner.
Well, I think when that was put together, it was more the village president, but since then that we've had some things that the board wanted the full board to.
And that's pretty common in Wisconsin, so if you want board,
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
I'd say village board, but I mean, if it's,
and we all understand that there's probably more interaction with the president in taking care of some of the business.
Right.
So I think we should probably leave it as village board as we go forward. So now I'm getting into the recruitment profile. And Diane has had a chance to take a look at it. Community history and the items that I have in this profile, I got from the website or from some other documents of the village. I don't think I had any points of discussion on the profile unless somebody had some questions. My next thing that I need to talk to you about is the personal attributes, and this is my take on what you might be looking for. Unless somebody had identified something else in any of the description that I'd put together, I'd certainly like your comments.
The only one I saw, and I'm not finding it right now, you had in here about Blackwater Lake being the only lake in Outagamie County, and that is not entirely true. It is the only recreational lake in Outagamie County.
Again, I
The DNR lists 4 lakes in
yes,
the county.
okay.
Russ read the sign coming into town.
No, it's actually on it's on one of your documents, but I can certainly get that corrected.
It's on the community history and background.
Oh, it's not on the recreational opportunities.
No,
That's what I
it's
was looking
community
at.
history and background, it is
Yep,
third paragraph, which is only 2 sentences.
yep. I can modify that. Any other comments otherwise we can go right to the personal attributes? And again, this is just my take on what you're looking for. Sometimes when we're doing a little bit, drawn out process, we'd actually sit down, I could sit down with people one-on-one and ask specifically what you're looking for, but these are the 10 attributes. They're fairly similar to what we did when we were recruiting for Wyomega. There are things I think you would be looking for in a smaller community. But if there's something you want changed, deleted, modified, now would be a good time to make that known. I don't know if you want me to go through all mine.
Are we asking anywhere that this person has marketing ability?
I don't think I put that in, and if you want, we should probably add that.
I
Is
think
that-
we definitely need that.
Kind of under economic development, though? I mean, do we have that in here?
Well, there is, and we did in the description, we talk about the ability to have some tax increment financing and economic development skills, but in our profession, marketing is just a little bit different approach, and if you want me to either incorporate that in the qualification criteria or the person, it's really more of a qualification item than a
I think so.
personal attribute that you're looking for.
Yeah.
Experience, if they've
Yes.
got marketing the village, that's considered our marketing with the village, as a whole.
Anything else on the personality or the personal attributes? Is there a consensus that I add some marketing language in the criteria?
What does everyone think?
Under personal attributes? Or
No, I would add it under candidate qualifications. If you go to the next section, the village is looking for collaboratives, strategic thinking, professional, strong leadership, and economic development skills, including tax income finance. I can either work it into the first sentence or the second sentence, a background in governmental relationships, grant writing is desired, and we can probably put something with marketing in there as well.
marketing, for village, or marketing, something with the village, for a growing community type of thing.
And I think you really would want something that's visible in the community. And then when I talked to Diane, she wanted to make sure that I had the planning and zoning along with human resources skills.
I agree.
Yeah, definitely need the planning and zoning part.
Okay. The other thing under education and experience on that same page, I had some conversations with Diane about the minimum requirements is a bachelor's degree in public management, public finance. I had some others. I just said or related field. A master's is preferred. That's opening up your pool a little bit longer. And I took the liberty of adding the 3 to 5 years in as what we're looking for. I think that's kind of common, unless you don't want to have that in there at all.
No, it's fine.
I like it.
I think we need that in there,
Okay.
definitely.
So if there's no other additional additions or corrections, if you want to have a motion to approve the profile as discussed, which would include the marketing, leaving the salary as is, and putting the August 10th deadline, I can get the ads out tomorrow.
I'll make that motion with the wording Russ just said.
And I will second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approved.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we'll probably, I'll do an update later, but we'll talk about the process. We have some procedures that we have found very successful that I'd like to recommend, but tonight I just wanted to get through the profile and the ad.
Okay, sounds good. Next, we have appointment of Kate Fortin and Jenna Foth to the library board.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. Next is a appointment of Edlon Mole as the village trustee for the seniors committee and Verna Zimmerman as one of the citizens.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. Is there any other miscellaneous topics for future discussion?
You never did put on the agenda about contracts? We were going
Yeah, I
to
kind of
discuss?
I didn't want to do it tonight with just a small board.
Yeah.
I thought we'd wait until we got full board before we put that
Definitely
up.
need anything discussed that would go over 5,000 or,
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll get to it, I just didn't want to
Okay.
do it a small board.
just so we don't forget, because, you know,
Is that something you
We're
want
getting-
Ross to get ready?
well, we're getting close to
Yeah, yeah. it's
budget, so we've got to know where we stand,
Right.
you know.
Um, let's see, trying to think, July 19th, we may have a full board, but we won't have most of our others here, because Jane will be gone, Russ will be gone.
Yeah, I was gonna do that under my staff report, but I had already committed not knowing your village board schedule, so I will not be available on the 19th, I'm sorry.
So there's the first meeting in August.
Yeah,
And the topic is it contracts or is it purchasing authority?
contracts of over 5,000.
Okay.
Standing revolving contracts.
Can you make a note of that, Jane, for the first August meeting? We have that on the agenda. Anything else for future discussion? Hearing none, we'll move to report of village officials. Administrator, Russ, you're up.
All right, I started out already, sorry to jump ahead, regarding the July 19th meeting. In working with the village president and staff, I was in the office today, I'll be in a little bit tomorrow. Next week, looking at Thursday and Friday, but in talking to staff, and, you know, the contract was 16 to 20 hours. I'm thinking I would probably establish regular office hours between 9 and 3 on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, so I can be here for 3 days a week. I think it would be helpful with staff and things if I was, you know, stretched out to at least 3 days a week. That still allows some hours for additional night meetings and those type of things. And again, as we get close to the budget, we may have to at least sit down, I'll track the hours as we go along. The village will get a bill at the end of the month with the total hours, but I'll be recording my hours as I spend them. And I can share that with Jane as well, but, so this week it's today and tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, next week, Thursday, Friday, and it'll probably be Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 9 to 3, a little break for lunchtime. That's all I have, other than I found my way around the building today.
Any questions for us? Hearing none, we'll move on to clerk treasurer. Nothing? Public Works?
I just have a couple. The Pine Street water utility project and the Brookwood, I say we're gonna call it, yeah, it used to be the Michael we're gonna call it the Brookwood project. Those should be, the drawings should be prepared and we should be looking at going out for bids by the end of the month, so. And Memorial Square, we're seeking bids to finish off the concrete in there, so we hope to at least have that corner wrapped up. We're still gonna have some work to do in the alleyway, but we hope to get all the concrete poured in the corner, the square itself, here pretty soon. So that's all I have, unless anybody has something for me.
Any questions or comments for Carl? Hearing none, police department?
I don't have anything either. I just have been out meeting the new officers, sitting down with them, talking one-on-one, meeting new people out in the community and old friends, and just basically getting acclimated with the department, police department itself, with the equipment and budgets and unions and all that good stuff.
Any questions for Chris? Hearing none, library director?
Nothing too important. We have close to 900 people signed up for our summer program now. So new cards every day being created, so pretty exciting. And that's it.
Any questions for Ally? Hearing none, attorney?
Nothing tonight.
Building permit report is in your packet. Any questions or comments on that? Hearing none, we'll move on to presentation of accounts and other claims against the village.
Vouchers and automatic deposits and wires. Voucher number 24947 through 24988 in the amount of $100,203.28. Direct deposit payroll of $29,721.43. And another direct deposit payroll of $2,401.49. Grand total $132,326.20. And on the utility side, vouchers number 10334 through 10349, total of $58,965.20.
I'll make,
Go ahead.
yeah, I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Roll.
Aye.
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 Approved. Communications and miscellaneous business. That Blackwater Lake District news. We had a meeting last week or, well, anyways, we just had a meeting and we discussed the proposed budget for the annual meeting. And there was also some discussion about our weed harvester, the problem we have it. And at the annual meeting, we discussed with the possibility of replacement of it because of the high cost of maintenance. Weed harvesting has started. So far, I've taken out 4 loads with plenty of issues. Any questions for the Blackwater Lake District? Hortonville, Hortonia Fire District. Kelly's not here, but most of what transpired at that meeting, and I happened to be there for that one, was made up into a packet that has been put into your mailboxes in there, and it lists what they've spent off their budget so far this year, and also has run summaries that have taken place this year, both for the fire department and I guess we didn't get the run one for the EMTs, but what they've had so far this year, they've had 8 structural fires, 5 rescue emergency medical services, 11 hazardous condition ones, and then some service calls. 14 service calls. But that was, most of their meeting was discussing both budget and their run calls. They will be looking for new oxygen equipment for the coming year. Diane was going to send them some information on grants that are possibly available for them to try and get for that, because it'll be like about somewhere around 90,000 would be our share of the cost of that. If they can get some grants, it would be very helpful.
And that's in our mailbox.
This is in everybody's mailbox, the list for the budget,
Okay.
the runs. Gold Cross ambulance run report. believe that's in our packet tonight. Hortonville Civic Association, Peter's not here, so I guess we won't have anything there. Comments and suggestions from citizens present? Don't think your son needs any comments.
It's pretty
And we
quiet.
need a motion to go into closed session under state statutes 19.851E, deliberating and negotiating the purchasing of public properties. Before we do, does anybody have a problem with
He can go along.
Julie's son stays here, or should we have him go down to the library? Go to the library?
See you, John.
Thanks, John.
I'll continue on with it. Someone can make the motion. I'll make a motion to go into closed session under state statute 19.851E, deliberating or negotiating the purchase of public properties, the investing of public funds, or conducting other specified public businesses whenever competitive or bargaining reasons require a closed session.
I'll second.
Roll.
Aye.
Aye.